A meeting to order 10:04 a.m. Changes or additions to the agenda? Any public comment? And I forgot to have sorry, introduce yourself, start with the select board.
Scott Morley, Select Board.
Karen Kemet, Select Board.
Dan Webster, Select Board.
Ed Fournier, town administrator.
Chris Roy, town resident and reporter.
David Borlick, town treasurer.
Fifteen White Town Clerk.
All right, we'll start with a warning. There's a couple copies there for you. We discussed this the other night and then I briefed Scott on it. And I gave you 2 different copies and notes. So there's Brian's notes are in there and notes from VLCT that you asked me to get, Carrie. So those are, it should say VLCT notes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure which one's on top, but I put in VLCT's phrasing
Mhm.
for Article 2. And then you should see ABC for the 3 select person, and then the other copy was just different than that we didn't have them on there if we voted later, so.
So the only differences in these 2 warnings are the discussion around the possibility of 2 new select board member.
Right,
That's the only difference between these 2.
no,
Well-
when you vote them in,
Because the discussion was, we had talked about voting them in. If it passes, we vote them in.
Yep, okay, yep.
The attorney's suggestion was if you pass it, have
Yeah.
a special meeting. But then the discussion Tuesday was we wanted it
yeah, and you
In the
both
meeting,
agreed
yeah.
you wanted that. I
We
just
wanted it
wanted to
in the
discuss
meeting
it.
itself.
Okay, and that's the only differentiation between these 2.
Right, and
Everything
then
else is
there's,
the
I
same.
didn't print a 3rd one, but there for B and C on the one with 3 select persons, it's the 1 and 2 year terms. And I guess I didn't get this information from VLCT originally, you can just do a 1-year term. But then I don't think it would stagger, right, if you do that, that's what you and I discussed at one point, Scott, so.
Right,
But it does say in the article that it would be a 2-year term. So going forward, that 1 year would become a 2-year.
Right, but I was saying you can also
Yes,
do it
you
with
can
just
do
1
1
year
year.
for each,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
So say that again.
Go ahead, Ed.
What part are you looking for?
No, but the second, so someday, from town meeting day, it'll be how long?
Well, they have to decide for sure, but if it's a 2-year term. Then one person serves 2 years and one person serves 1 year. So then it stays staggered. Deb can correct me if I said anything wrong, but you also can do it where both just do a 1-year term. And that's for moving from a 3-person to 5-person board.
May I ask why you need to have that done?
It was requested by the town residents. Remember there was a petition that went around, but it was worded wrong. So the discussion became, we can add it to town meeting and we let the town folks decide.
When did that petition circulate?
Earlier this year,
Yeah.
way earlier, well, last year.
Summer, fall, summer
I was
maybe?
gonna say like late spring.
Yeah, late spring, summer.
Okay, because I didn't think that came up during last town meeting.
No,
It
No,
did not.
Not at town meeting.
You know, it came up at a regular meeting.
What's the benefit?
I don't know, more ideas, more recommendations, different people doing different tasks.
so the board hasn't decided, the board hasn't taken a stance on that. Right, I mean, we're staying completely neutral and haven't decided whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. As a standing decision from the board. Board received a petition that had been found to be legally flawed. So we declined to accept the petition. Because it wasn't properly done.
So was it properly worded? What are you properly done?
Right. So in the ensuing conversation that we had with some of the folks who, you know, brought the petition to the board was, let's just take it to town meeting and let the town decide whether or not they think that there should be a two more members of the select board, and that was our decision. We haven't made any decisions on what we think publicly, and we're just putting it out this way because that's what we agreed to. Does that sound right? I
Yeah.
mean, that was our stance.
Yeah,
So there's pros and cons to it, of course, but
Sure.
I don't think it's good for us to go into all of those right now. That's not what we're here.
And I realize it's minimal, but are your positions totally volunteer or do you get a small stipend? I know Newport gets a small stipend, I think.
We get paid.
Yeah. How much?
I think it's $1,500. It's in the, I think it's $1,500 for you, for the two, for two of the board members, and the chair gets,
yeah,
the chair gets an additional $200 for the year.
You guys.
It's a lot, it's way too much.
Yeah.
All right, so back to, so. Let's see. So when we started talking about this a month or two ago, we talked about exactly what you're saying, right? Which is, well, how do we set that up? How do we ask the town what they want?
mhm,
And then if they choose the five, then what do we do? And how do you,
mhm.
you know, how do you sort of get through that? So I did communicated with the LCT, and then they gave us a very difficult reading thing that I didn't really understand. I don't know, you guys did. Sure. And we gave it to Brian and Melanie. Brian has given us his 2 cents recently, which is he recommends we not do, and stop me when I'm saying this wrong, that he recommends we not do the election that day,
Correct.
that we simply deal with Article 2, and if the town chooses the 5-member board, then there would be a cause of action for the select board to decide who, what, when, where, right?
Yep.
You could do, they would be considered vacancies, and you could appoint until the next town meeting, or you could hold a special election. And that would be, and if you went that route, that would be a conversation after town meeting with whoever the board is. On how to do that. I would assume that it would be an election. I would assume that you would want to do that, but whatever. And Melanie seems fairly strongly with that opinion too.
Uh-huh.
The LCT, I don't think they're giving us a strong opinion one way or the other. They're saying you can do it either way.
Yeah, I think it's more information.
More information. And so, I mean, with that said, why would we not want to do that and follow those two professionals who do our work for us?
We
Guidance.
yeah, we were kind of like, why? We couldn't think of other than their advice. It's like, why not do it at town meeting? Maybe because the way we're trying to word it, we can't even.
Well, so, I mean, we could go into what Brian wrote specifically, and I can understand.
Did
what
he have something more than
Yeah.
last time? Did he?
I have his notes here on the,
But there's nothing new.
no.
Yeah.
If you look at, yeah, for Article 2.
Let's see.
There's a lot about the process.
The
that he
tougher
talks
question is whether the voters can vote at the same meeting. The tougher question is whether the voters can vote at the same meeting on who the candidates will be to fill those seats. Conventionally, the advice has been to vote on the candidates at a subsequent special meeting. I mean, so that's your attorney who's dealt with a lot of municipal issues with a lot of different towns, and that's been, you know, that he's got a lot of years of experience there.
Yeah.
And again, he does say that's the most cautionary approach, and he goes into some other issues there saying, you know, it hasn't been tested in court yet. I don't know that you don't wanna be the test case. And you know, and Melanie with her experience is sort of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
When I sit back from it and I think about that, I think, well, what are you losing by going with the cautionary approach? Right? You're not losing anything. And frankly, the vast majority of the town, I was talking to Ed about this the other day after I got my senses back a little bit, was most people aren't even gonna know about this. You know, most people don't watch our meetings and listen to our gibberish half the time. They go to town meeting. And so they're gonna get their warning and they're gonna get their booklet in what, a month, maybe? From now, so it doesn't give really the general townspeople very much time to really contemplate and think about. What it takes to raise your hand and say, I'll step forward.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so I think, for me, if the town could say no, they want to keep a 3-person board and, you know, then you don't have to deal with it all. But it seems to me that on such a big event like that, you would want to take the cautionary route. I certainly would do that. And see if where the vote is, and then wherever your board is, think that through. Take a couple months. I mean, we've been through it before. Put feelers out, do your postcards, do whatever you want to do. Special meeting.
Yeah.
So that people can really think about it and come to a few of our meetings. To talk about what it means to be a select board member and, you know, all the things you gotta do. I don't see any reason not to do that. It seems like the safest route. It's guided by your own attorney.
I was I definitely thought we should do it in town meeting, but just, it does feel like a lot of people are gonna be going like on the spot kind of decision making.
I mean, I think it's a big one. I mean, that's a really big change for your town. If they choose to do that, I think you're slow down, make a good decision, you know, get people to really hear.
Along that lines, I just had a quick question / comment for as far as, because it's new to me bringing in a new select or 2 new select board members for training them and educating them on everything. When that goes into effect after they vote, they would have to sit here and make decisions with you at the very next meeting, right?
Mhm.
So there's also that. I'm just curious, you know, whereas,
It's true, you know.
right, I mean, they would have to sit, I mean, they would be part of it right away, right? So
Yes.
it's not me trying to sway, I was just
Yeah, yeah.
asking how that would work.
Yes, Chris?
Is there a deadline? If this passes, do you have a window that you have to show this? Yeah, can it wait a year for all practical purposes? I mean, I realize it may not happen on town meeting.
I think they would, the select board would make that decision. The select board could drag their feet and try to go to the next, but I don't suspect that's gonna happen. I think a reasonable amount of time, whoever the 3 are here, should be thought through, you know, a couple months, something. To give people a good, honest opportunity to come in and sit in some meetings if they're interested, or, you know, talk to everybody involved. What do you do? Why do you do it? Why do you do what you do? You know, have all those conversations is healthy. Rather than to try to really just jam it through. And I would recommend you go with your attorney and your municipal professional on that, because I don't see a downfall to it.
Yeah.
I don't see anything that would be harmed by not taking a cautionary approach. Personally. Even though that's not how we started out.
Yep.
Because I didn't.
Which is fine, I'm fine
I
with that.
certainly didn't think about that, right? A month or 2 ago when we were all talking about this, it's like, oh geez, what do we do?
Mhm.
How do we go through the steps? And that's why we have Brian, and that's why we have Melanie to help guide us on some of that thinking, and you know, we can kind of learn things along the way. So I think it's good we stay open, listen to them. I don't see a downfall to that. But you two can say differently.
mean, there's both sides of it too, when, you know, somebody's nominated on the floor and they're voted in. Then they're in. You know,
So right now, everybody knows that there's
Yep.
a vacancy.
It's a vacancy.
Mine.
yeah,
Everybody knows
Yeah.
that, right? And I've raised both my hands and said, at this point, I'm really not interested in running it again. However, my phone keeps ringing.
Mhm.
But, and so everybody knows that, it's the tradition, every year that there is a 3-year term, that's what we
Yeah,
do, so
every
they,
year there's
you know,
one.
everybody knows that, they don't know about this. You know, and they don't know yet, a good share of people, I'm sure, have no awareness of it. So, you know, yeah.
Either way is fine, you know, there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah. That's
Um,
true.
and even, you know, if it passes in town meeting, that might be the time to say, okay, in 2 months on the first Tuesday, March, April, May, the first Tuesday in May or something. There'll be a special meeting or something, you know, set a date. And then people know,
Will
that's
this,
my thoughts,
will this change your quorum?
yes.
Yes.
So, question. Scott, you're alluding, just practically saying that you're not interested in running again. Then you're gonna have 2 more open positions. Do you have people knocking at your doors like, I wanna be on the select board, that's my lifelong dream? And if you don't get a quorum, what happens?
You will get a call.
You think so?
You'll have select board members filling these seats at town meeting. Yep, no question.
But even if there's not, then it would have to be, you know, if there's a vacant seat, if Scott doesn't run and nobody wants it and you say nobody was, you know, nominated, then you still have 2 people, so it'd have to be both people at the meeting.
Well, but that's
Every
what I'm
meeting.
saying, then,
Yeah, until it got filled.
right, but then if you have a 5 board member. And then nobody wants to fill it.
No, not gonna happen.
Okay.
You be peaceful.
Yeah, that's why I get paid the big bucks to ask these hard questions.
It's a good question, but it's not gonna happen. All right,
Because there are people interested, they started the petition.
yes.
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely think there's gonna be.
Is there training
uh,
for newbies, either from VLCT, isn't there about their workshops, either,
Yes,
There are,
you know, who put those on VLCT, or
Yeah. mostly,
are they virtual or in person, or?
I think both.
both. You've done some of them, right?
I did mine virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you've been to some meetings too.
Mhm.
That-
Went
that's
to
good.
one meeting, went to,
Yeah, and they're helpful.
yeah, they are.
Okay, so,
Having said all that,
I'm fine with, I'd like to set a date, like town meeting day, and I don't know how that would be worded, which it's probably too late to figure that one out, because this book has to go out, what, Monday?
Yeah,
think you're gonna have a reorg meeting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And whoever the board is at the time.
Yeah.
Should have that
Simple.
opportunity.
Yeah,
you know.
that's fine.
Dan,
I'm good with it. Yep, do it.
good with,
Have another
Special meeting.
special meeting.
so do the Article 2.
Yep.
And then, so. Article
Elect
2.
one.
And that Article 2 is written by Brian.
that's right, Brian did write one, so. First, I'm clear, tell me what we're going with, so I know which document we're on,
The one,
where we vote later, you said.
Yeah.
Vote later.
Yeah,
So the article is still the same.
right, it's the same,
So
so
who wrote that article?
that's from VLCT, and then Melanie has one in the notes, they're pretty much the same. The reason it's VLCT is because it translated easier to both, but I was gonna have you say which one you. So let me see, if you go to your notes, they say notes from Brian at the top.
Yep.
You go to page 2.
Yep.
Go all the way down, that's Melanie's, I think they're pretty much the same. And then the one in the warning is VLCT.
Yeah, I mean, they're the same thing. Okay.
So in here from someone, who is this, from VLCT. If the first article passes and you decide to elect the members to fill the open seats at a subsequent special town meeting, then you would adjust the second article for the warning. For the special town meeting, you wouldn't have to reference it on the warning at the annual meeting. So you may want to motion to the town moderator to make a point of information to inform the voters that if the article passes, that the select board will warn a subsequent special town meeting.
Yeah, whatever you decide, the
Yeah,
moderator needs to know what's going on, so they can.
Yeah.
All right, people.
Format.
So I guess now that you have the one you want, if you just wanna look at each, I mean, Article 1's the same as it is every year. I believe.
Did you look at this, Deb? Have you seen this?
Yes, not this newest copy here, but yes.
So everything made sense to you? David, have you had a chance to look over any of the money issues? You're all good with them?
The values.
I looked at the numbers and before you approve it, let's just read the numbers,
Okay.
or maybe just read it, so
Do you have a copy? Look.
I don't have the budget in front of them.
Oh, okay.
Before you get to that one, do you mind if we just, so you're good with Article 2, right, the way that's worded?
Yep.
And then the only other question I have for you on Article 3 is, are you going to go for the 2-year terms? I think you all kind of agreed to that before.
wouldn't that?
Yes.
That be in the special meeting anyway?
But you would have to know, I think, ahead of time, right?
So right here,
That's
serving
yeah.
2-year terms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I say 2-year terms.
Yeah.
I would leave it the way it's written.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you should see, it should say, the one you're looking at should have a 3-year select person, a 1-year and a 2-year. That's how he told me to put it in there.
But it's not gonna go in this one. Cause we're not voting. So you want. the
Oh,
one
right,
that-
yes,
You
you're right.
want
Just
the one
the
that-
one, the one
Yeah,
select
so you
person.
want the one.
B is
I'm
the
sorry.
delinquent tax collector. Nope, that's fine.
Okay,
We
so
want
we're
it, we
good
want
on
it
that.
right.
Alright, now we can move to 4, sorry.
Article 4, Dave says, shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry vote to appropriate the sum of $951,821?
It's the number I have.
Okay. Article 5 states, shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry vote to appropriate the sum of $485,106
That's right.
plus Vermont state aid?
Mhm.
Okay. Article 6, shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry appropriate the sum of $298,324
Yeah, that's your payday.
for paving, so that's good. To be paid with fiscal 27 funds.
Right.
Article 7, shall general obligation notes of the town of Coventry and the, okay,
That's the discussion one.
let's skip to 8. We'll come back to that.
So throw on that.
Article 8, shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry authorize the transfer of $230,000 from community and economic?
It's the number.
To buildings and maintenance.
Okay, to the buildings and maintenance fund. Article 9, shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry authorize the transfer of $143,000 from reappraisal?
It's the number I have.
Okay. And, let's see, Article 10, just to say it out loud so everybody gets a chance to hear that again. Shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry establish a reserve fund to be called a long-term tax stabilization fund in accordance with blah, 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 to be funded by the transfer of the current balance of the town's long-term investment fund any future appropriations made by the voters and all net investment earnings accrued by the fund for the purpose of reducing municipal property taxes once the landfill is no longer providing sufficient revenues for town operations. And that's what we developed with Melanie, and
Right.
everybody's
Mhm.
good
Yep.
for that. And 11, Article 11, shall the legal voters of the town of Coventry vote to appropriate the below expenditures for the service agencies in the amount of 27,802? Question mark. Why is there a question?
Oh,
mark?
yeah, that needs to come out.
That's how I did it that way, cause it was worded in the past, but you want it at the end? or-
Oh, okay. All
Did that
right,
one without a number come out, or did they come up with a number?
No, I got a number.
I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was for the appropriations.
Yeah,
It was to prevent child abuse.
Oh,
So
yeah.
who's triple checked that math? Is that your math, Ed?
It is, yeah, I've double checked it, but definitely something would be nice if someone checked it.
Deb, do you have a copy of this, Deb?
Yeah.
Can you run the calculator down that whole list of appropriations? For us while we're here. While she's doing that, let's go back up to, which one did I get scared by?
7.
Before you go to it, on 11, does that question mark need to be moved or?
No,
Okay,
it just looked. Okay, so 7 laws shall general obligation notes in the town of Coventry in the amount of $2 million be financed over a term of not to exceed 5 years, subject to available grants in aid be issued under subject blah, 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 for the construction of a new town garage. Okay. So, we have information somewhere on this, right? We got something.
yes, I forwarded it all to you. It's,
Do we have that?
I'm sorry, I don't have it with you right now. I can go grab it for you. We can discuss it. if you
We
want.
probably should see that.
All right, yeah, I'll just give me a second.
Yeah.
That does balance.
That's right, Deb? Okay.
No, I got 172.
So Dave, it sounds like all the articles line up with your numbers, so we're all good on that stuff.
I would say, the articles that we cross-checked, yes.
Right.
The one you're talking about now,
The town garage.
town garage. Having viewed the email I saw yesterday with the estimate from
Roy,
Roy,
yes,
the engineering guy, planning guy,
yeah.
2 million is not his number.
I know, that's why I just got scared and I saw the email too, so, we need to flush that out and talk that through.
So
So
I haven't seen the email, but
It's just
I thought it was.
2.5.
So, so a couple of things just about, right? Jim. I was hoping he was gonna be here today, that's why I ran downstairs and called, but he's a lot of problems. So Jim and Roy, I don't know how much you've been involved in that.
A little bit.
They've been chugging along with trying to get the bids out. And some of the questioning that I've been sending over Ed's way, and I did talk to Jim, was, all of this grant stuff, right? We can probably get some grants for whatever, mechanical and heating and different things like that, but you really need 3 to 6 months. I talked to Matt about that too, Maxwell, and that was a number he gave on the good side of things. You're really looking at 3 to 6 months to work. It started scaring me a little bit. It's like, well, you're not gonna have that much time probably, because you're gonna be, if you're trying to break ground in whenever this spring, which you have to get accomplished. By the time town meeting is over, you don't have enough time.
The other conversation too was breaking ground in a year.
Right, exactly, yes. And so everybody started talking that through, those guys, so, and that was.
Is that the one you wanted, the actual
And
amount?
so, Yes, thank you, thank you. So I think those conversations, went quite a ways actually, and everybody. But, you know what, we are moving at rapid pace. And so. The bidding process has sort of been, gangbusters to try to get us what we were looking for. And we did talk earlier with Roy with him, remember that he could give us this, or we could actually get
Mhm.
facts and figures from potential contractors. And so I know he went back and forth with some of that stuff, and I know Jim did. And I started thinking about it. Ed and I talked about it. And it's like, it would be very unfortunate for us to take any amount of money, but potentially 100,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential grant off the table to just sort of bowl through that. On top of that, when I talked with Roy the other day and I asked him some questions around, sort of felt like, when we do our, getting off subject, but not really, when we do our tarring, right? We do that in December, November, December, and we get those contracts laid out because we get good pricing that way, and we're first at the table, right? So, and it gives us a lot of flexibility with those contractors to say, this is our start date and this is our completion date. If you wait and you start trying to get those skilled contractors, like building this garage, in at the last minute, probably not gonna be first at the table. And so there was some recognition of that, and I think Jim, I wish he was here, but our conversation was that he felt that that was becoming a reality too, that it seemed like we were not getting the full.
We're rushing it.
For that stage. I think what the town asked us to do is exactly what we've done, which is blueprints and Roy and the permitting and real numbers based on
Yeah.
the real world that we live in,
Yeah.
not just building a real garage for ourselves, right? And so I think we're there, again, they could say no. They could vote that down now, especially when they see these numbers. Dave's already squirming over there. And, and then you haven't gone through
Hasn't even voted through. Why are we
trying to get
take the next
contractors
step?
there,
Yeah.
right? And so they sort of said, okay, what do you guys want to do? Do you want me to try to pound that nail in the hole, or do you not want to do that? And I said, well, you can't make that decision. You gotta talk to the full board. So I told them we have a meeting Saturday and we'll discuss it, and because we have to discuss it for this article. Because we gotta have a number. So who's the number coming from? If you're not gonna get contractor number, you have to go back to Roy.
Mhm.
And so Roy, that all makes sense. Everybody follow along with that crazy line you did, right? Ed?
Yep.
You guys did.
Yep, that makes,
So Roy said, well, I can give you,
Mhm.
a development budget, right? He called it estimated preliminary development budget. And he's done that. He sent an email, I think, that described some of the things that went
Yeah,
through his mind to
basically.
create this.
Yeah.
Dan, you didn't see it, which was essentially,
And his notes are at the bottom too, which is basically the same
that's
thing.
basically the same. His experiences, this is what he does. Recent town garages that were similar in the area. So he generated, based on all of those factors, he certainly did round up. So he's got total estimated project budget, 2,152,110. He then has a line that says, if construction were to start in 2027, he would recommend adding 3% for escalation, right? Normal.
Yeah.
Which would put you up to 2.2. And then I think, I wish he were here to speak for himself, but he's now then he takes that to 2.5 and he says round up. Well, when I didn't talk to him through those details, but I assume what that means is, you know, he wants to make sure you have enough money to
Yep.
accomplish the project that you're gonna set forth, so he's recommending you pitch that number to the town and let them swallow it or deny it or reduce it.
Mhm.
I'm not in a professional place to say that that's not the right number. It seems to make sense. It seems high to me. But I understand his thinking. It does make sense.
I think it's a good number. Um, I don't think it's too high.
No, you've been seeing some of that stuff too.
Yeah. But I think I think that's a lot better way to pitch it to the town, because that's what we were assigned to do.
Yeah.
It's just a blueprint, a plan, a better plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
And slow it down, because we could get money.
And not truck, yeah. And so if they do want it.
Yeah.
Which I suspect they probably will want it, they'll have to think through the money. On how to do that, which goes into the discussion on how the article is written a little bit. It gives you a year to breathe. Right, and make the right fit with a contractor and make good fit with Ed, so we don't kill Ed. And you can get grant things going along, and you probably get a better product. If the town wants it. So the article says, shall general obligation note of the town of Coventry in the amount of, it's going to say $2,500,000 to be financed over a term not to exceed 5 years, subject to available grants in aid, be issued under subchapter blank, blah, blah, blah. Now I've seen that written a few different ways in a few different meetings. Right? Who wrote that for us?
That's Brian, I believe. If you go back to the notes, yeah, it's Brian.
That's Brian.
Fourth paragraph down from the email there. Top page.
Article 7 will propose changing it to the one for the reasons.
Right, that's the same one.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just trying to get this right. I
Right
know-
above it, he's got a couple of notes too there.
Yeah. I didn't follow that. Yeah, so what he's really telling you, right, is that it's your authority to build a garage or not. It's really, you know, in legalese, the town doesn't say to build a garage, even though they certainly should, right? That's how we do our business, which is we ask the townspeople, do you want us to build a garage? If they say no, we don't. But they appropriate the money. They're gonna give you the money for it. So, I know that we had a draft on this article that also had language in there around how the select board was proposing to fund it, right? But what Brian is saying is that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, this was the latest that we had, you know.
You guys remember that? We kind of had an article
Yeah.
drafted that said here's the big price tag, and then it's, you know, less grants we might get and less cash that David's stashed away. And so what you're looking for, and again, Brian's right, is you want to say, this is the price tag, this is what it's going to cost you, whether or not, wherever you get it. But that's what we need you to authorize us, build this building. Now, we can talk to you about why it'll cost you less than that. Or we can talk to you about why we're not gonna borrow that much money. still gonna cost that much. Because we're gonna get grants hopefully, and we've got cash stash here and there, whatever that might be. We're moving some money to in anticipation, right, to have that ready. So Melanie, and I think Brian, and David, we all talked about, bonding. Nobody thinks that that's a good idea. Nobody, based on our financial position and all of the things it means and doesn't mean for bonding. Everybody that's been in that conversation believes that it would be a bad idea for that, for us. And that we should look at short term. Be right in there, in the amount to be financed over a term not to exceed 5 years. And there's some reason for that 5 year too, in a legal way. David?
So right, this 2 million that's mentioned in there is the potential for the short-term financing. If the voters approve the movement of the reserve funds that are in those other two articles, you'll have over $1 million in the buildings and maintenance fund that you are already authorized to spend on this building, for instance.
Right.
So even if the price tag does come in at 2.5 million, you've already got $1 million of that already.
Cash,
Cash ready to go.
not including any grants.
Not including any grants, so your financing bill, if that, if you spend all that on the building, your financing bill would be $1 million, maybe. But you also want to have some headroom in that because you don't really know what's going to happen between now and then.
Right.
You might have to do something to this building, you might have to do something to that building.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
that buildings and maintenance fund covers all the buildings. So.
Yeah.
But just to keep in mind, the $2 million for loans doesn't, now that I've thought about it, that doesn't need to be 2.5. Because you're not trying to cover the entire cost of the building with that.
No.
Or, but you want to have a sufficient number there that you can get it built done.
Yeah.
Without having to go buy
Yeah.
T111 siding.
Yeah. So I think that's absolutely correct. So how do I say that? I try to balance everything around here, right? So it's like, okay, that's our money guy. And he's always gonna talk money. And that's good. And then we're managing a whole bunch of other issues at the same time, right? And one of the things that we want to always make sure is we don't even give anybody an idea that there's any sleight of hand, right? I want to make sure that everybody knows that this guy says it's probably gonna cost 2.5 million. So that's the number I would want in here, but David's correct in everything that he just said around, well, yeah, it's the cost is that much, but you've already got 40% of it sitting ready. So I would rather use his number, the big one, the new big one, Dave, I'm sure, yeah, for this, just for that reason, which is yourself telling people, this is what this guy says it's gonna cost you.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost you that much money, wherever you get it from. Is what I would do. And when it goes out to bid, the bid might come in, is likely to come in less than that. He's going, he's trying to push you out to the maximum extreme, I think, to make sure you're covering yourself. But, the bid might come in 2.2 and then you just got to get a lot more room.
Yeah.
Should it read up to 2.5 million? Instead of in the amount of 2 million?
Well, Brian wrote it.
Yeah, but that will be part of the conversation town meeting day too.
Yes.
Yeah, the nature of short-term financing is generally you only take what you need.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
It's not that you're gonna issue $2 or $2.5 million on the bonds, it's half.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes. Can't go out all those years. So I would recommend you adjust Article 7 for the 2,500,000, right? Which has come to us through the development.
Mhm.
From Roy. And plug that in our Article 7. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yep, I'm,
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Is this, are we putting this letter in the report, town report? Or are we putting this letter just at the like informational meeting and town meeting?
We could do something like that, yeah, no, it's a work,
Mhm.
it's not.
Mhm.
It's not something you want in there. But we certainly have it, and we should have it, and put it in our pockets and have it out there so
Yeah.
we can show people
we can talk about
where did that get developed from?
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't
Yeah.
pull it out of the air, absolutely true, yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so what did we do to you today, Ed? We kept Article 2 as written. We adjusted Article 3 and removed those 2 new potential select board members, so it's just the traditional one,
Mhm.
3-year term,
Right.
right? And then we just adjusted Article 7 to 2,500,000. David lined up all the money. You checked Article 11, Deb, and that's balanced. Good job, Ed. I knew it would.
For Article 3, I know you already said there, you know, they don't go on there, but should you decide now? If you're doing 2 years or 1 year, or you did that art, then we'll have to let the moderator know.
No, we've got 2 years right in there.
Yeah, leave it the way it's
Article 2.
written.
Oh, yes, it's in Article 2.
It's in Article
Okay,
2,
that's
yeah.
what you wanna stay with, I just, cause I told you about the option.
Yep.
Leave
Yep.
it there.
2 as is.
And then if it passes, the select board that sits for the town will, with your meeting, would either deal with it that day or the next meeting. And that would be a priority for you to make those decisions and
Yep.
and set your meetings and all that stuff. All right, so, where are we? We went back and forth on a lot of stuff there. Now, let's see,
Up on a thumb drive app.
Yeah, I can, but it's the one from the other day, because I had 2 copies of those.
We would, we can make the changes and then print it so they can actually sign it today.
Oh, okay, yes, I'll do that, alright.
okay, so
You're saying just before we go or whatever?
let's do,
Get it.
Oh, okay, so they can sign it.
Make the adjustment right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
While they're still, yeah. I'll give you a little bit of time.
Yeah,
Quick before anything changes.
so before we vote on that 4. Let's bend some rules here, and David wants us to say yay or nay on the numbers we just read. Right, and one of the reasons is the $250,000 inside the budget that's gonna get sent to, or recommended to be sent to long-term investments, right?
Mhm.
So that's right now, we have a $250,000 long-term investment amount, which created that number. We have an opportunity now to agree with that, bring it down, take it up, take it out, make another new article, do whatever we want to do with it. We've had that discussion a few times now, it's gone back and forth. I know everybody knows that I don't like doing it this way, but I'm okay with it today, it's fine.
What do you mean, putting it, you'd rather have it as an article, or you'd rather have it?
I always want it to be an article.
Article.
Yeah, I always want that, I always want it for a few different reasons, we've been through them back and forth, but You know, we've had a lot of things going on here, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter today. What's important is we agree to a number that we think is an appropriate number with David to send down there. And so if this year, keep it in there, that's fine.
What page is it on? Do you know?
In the budget,
Yeah.
it's page. Page 5, the budget, it's towards the bottom, transfers to other funds.
Oh, yep.
250.
Yeah.
So as you're thinking that stuff through in the future. Pros and cons, right? For me, the con of putting it in your regular budget is you're not bound legally to send it there. So select board, when you're authorized the bottom line, which is inclusive of that, for your town work, you don't have to send that money down there. You could use it for buying a new truck. I don't think. I think the select board should be put in a corner more on that particular expense. And it also generates a more wholesome conversation, I believe, in the town meeting for people to know and understand what they're doing. But again, we had a lot of moving parts this year. We've done a lot of great work, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we wouldn't do it, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't do it. But in future, I would at least continue to talk about it. Now the question is, are you good with that number? David, tell us why we're good with it and not good with it. Totally on.
Well, the pro is you can afford it, that's a number that the town can reasonably give out of its income. Will end that, and it will get the town a reasonable chance at getting to the point in 2045 that the long-term investment fund, or tax, the new name for it, should that article pass, will be able to cover the operational expenses of the town for a lengthy period of time. I hate to say forever, but many years. If you increase the amount, that increases the chances that that investment in 2045 will be able to cover the town's operational expense for more years. I mean, just more is always better, but the problem is it's today's dollars. So, you know, do you have that income that you can put there and not use right now? And looking at the expenses that are coming at the town, particularly in the garage bill, I think you probably don't. 250 is the right number. And in the context of this budget is based on getting 2.2 million from Casella. Sounds like a lot, but it's not. Managed to. We're going through that. The operational budget's about 1.1 million. This building and the highway. Then there's capital spending. So.
Yeah.
It's more than 10%. You're saving, you know, at 250K, you're saving more than 10% of your current income.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty reasonable. You go to 500K, now you're talking 25% of your current income. That you're really going to struggle to do that. And does that make sense in the context of what you're trying to do in the town?
Very good feedback.
But you also get the look back option, right? So if you get to the end of the fiscal year and there's extra, what we used to call excess revenue.
Right.
And you really don't need to do anything with that. Like, then you can have an article at the town meeting that says, take this excess revenue and put that in investment. Okay.
It's older money. It's like 2-year-old money.
Right, 2-year-old money.
2-year-old money, not 1-year-old money.
Yeah.
And I like your thought on that, Dave, because it leaves you some flexibility too for if you are gonna build a garage. I saw some of that scratch right
That
where.
article, like you said, say, instead of putting it in long-term investment fund, you're gonna use it to build a garage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you could pay that note down quicker, or you'd take the note out for less or whatever, if you're gonna have an extra, another $250,000 probably floating around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's
For this year, at least, use flexibility.
flexibility. And it's flexible and it's $250,000 you are assigned.
So when would it get transferred? Is it?
When you guys tell me to do it.
uh,
So you have the same thing is in effect right now for this fiscal year.
Mhm.
You haven't sent it yet. At some point, you need to be,
The 250 did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Putting your fingers in my eyes saying, when should we send it?
Yeah.
So we're kind of getting to that point now.
Yeah. It's sort of traditionally halfway through the
That's what I
year.
was thinking.
It's cash flow dependent and
Right.
also
It's cash flow.
where are you on spending?
Right, so it's sort of. You give him some flexibility, right?
Mhm,
You
yeah,
don't wanna do
because
it
if
till July 1st and.
something big happens and.
Yeah.
On November 30th, we need the money for whatever.
Cause you get quarterly revenue checks, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to let things something spin,
Mhm.
so.
Yep.
Okay, so I think it's the right number. I think David is right. I disagree with where it is, but I'm not objecting to it.
Mhm.
So if you guys are good with that, then,
Mhm.
then. That'll take care of 5 in a minute.
Yes, I hear what you're
But if you
saying,
wanted
but
to change that, then it would make 4 town budget warning change, right?
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
number. So why don't we back ourselves up a bit here and do some voting on 4. We would probably approve the warning with the noted changes
That have been made
that have
already.
been made with Ed.
I brought you the one
Yeah.
with the adjustment and,
Oh, you've already done it?
yeah, Deb found it
Oh.
also. She looked it over. There's a comma in there. Just to note that it needs to be fixed in Article 7 after the financial amount.
yeah, after years, is that what was missing?
After the 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, there's a comma, that needs to go.
Mhm.
So. I'm not close enough to look at it, but this warning right here has already got the adjustments
Yes.
made.
Yeah, it was
So-
just the
so this is the
2.5, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it was the only adjustment made.
Yeah. So we got rid of the 2 other select board names.
Yep.
And then this changed.
Yeah, so if you check the one I handed in, everything should be
Everything
going.
was going,
And she wants to get rid of this comma.
which we did.
Well, he will.
Oh, okay,
It's there. It needs to come out.
okay. All right, so that's your cleanest version, so.
So we're not gonna sign this one because the comma's gonna go
Well, you can, because the comma is on.
on a different page. Yep, okay. So he'll just reprint page
Yeah.
2.
And was there another adjustment? You were just saying, okay, we're
No.
good.
I'm good.
And they'll send you a
Everybody else
revised
is good.
updated one, so that
Mhm.
All right, so let's vote on that, like that one.
Make a motion to approve the warning for Coventry Annual Town Meeting. Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, 10 AM with just the one adjustment to be made. As presented with the one adjustment.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So if you wanna sign that copy, maybe.
Dan, just because you guys got like 5 copies, one it is the one I handed you.
it
Yes,
is,
that's
yeah,
this one.
And then Mr. Chair, after the meeting, I would like to borrow 5 minutes of your time to go over a couple of things as to finalize my article.
Give me 10.
Okay, great.
Dave, on the agenda, the next agenda of the town report budget. Do you want us to? What do you want us to do with that? Do you want us to voice the amounts?
No, I guess that was on there maybe as a contingency if there was an issue with what was in the
That's what I'm wondering
article.
why.
Once you've approved the article, you
Right.
approved the top line amount, so.
Right. Okay.
Then you can do whatever you want, budget.
Okay. All right, that
Are
makes
you
sense.
asking why town report is on the agenda?
No, he was
No.
asking, but, well,
Oh,
The budget,
Okay.
you guys, you get, see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like it was a discussionary topic, but it's nothing that we, thanks, Deb. But it's nothing that we have to, vote on. It's all encompassing.
It's already in there.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just what we discussed.
Yeah, work through all
The
the
other night,
issues.
that's why it's on there.
Yep, yep. All right, counterflow, oh, I'm very good, it's back to you, we're through 5.
So I was downstairs and when you did the budget, so we're going to the
Yeah.
report now.
Yeah.
So you wanna just look at the whole thing here?
Oh, yeah. You don't, you look at it, it's usually your job.
Well, I haven't looked that close. I did look at a lot of it.
Yeah, that's where we're at, we can cover it. That's the airport there. That's the sign. This Deb can probably answer this. I just left this blank for because when you print, it comes out. So I don't know if she needs that for the report, but I can discuss that.
He'll do all
or
your stuff.
something. This is the dedication.
That'll be like the inside cover.
Did he add the? Did he get back to you on?
I
adding-
asked him, he said it was good as is.
As it is, yeah, okay, so because there's nothing on there about moderator or anything.
I can check again.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Ed and I talked about it. I mean, I think they deserve way more, but
Mhm,
that
yeah.
was a lot to drag out of them. That.
Yes.
I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
No, that was good.
This one I just need to fix, cause I just need to get with you, Debs, that's kind of scrappy notes, just to get the right credits for the photos you got me. This is the contents, which will require a final check to make sure, so are you guys good with the format on that? I changed it a little, so.
Looks
Looks
good.
good.
Clean.
This, you guys saw it the other night, it's been cleaned up a little, Scott.
Mhm.
Added some recommendations from Deb, we put this over here and then had to switch Jeffrey.
Looks good.
If I go too fast, tell me, but there's a lot of pages.
Mhm.
Can you go back up?
Yep,
Nate. Just the road foreman's phone number, that's probably the right phone number, just not the one that I have.
Yeah, that's the garage. So we're gonna. put-
Oh, yes, yeah.
So,
all set.
Yep.
This was part of that page, but I added some, so. This is where I threw this in, but we can put it as a whole page if you like in the beginning, so. This has had a bunch of additions to it here, the Australian ballot. Is that the right wording that I got from your school, Australia? Then we added in the elections, the fall festival. Casella still hasn't gotten back to me, so I put to be determined for the dates. I asked him a couple times. Actually, it's been verified, that's good. Cemetery commission added. Is our GoGov page.
Play with that, Gary?
I gotta get people to sign up.
Yeah.
I'll get you guys or my kids or somebody to send out some, so right now I'm sending to myself.
This is a note from Dan Goffin.
Yep.
That's the new building there. This is a warning, will need to be updated. This is from Mark Mormon, some historical stuff. You saw it the other night, but you didn't, Scott.
Very nice.
With a neat thing here.
He's the one who had given us that other photo.
Deb was able to get all this stuff, so thank you.
Yeah. Looks good.
This one I had in my notes, Deb, do they still need stars here or no? Because you're not voting on, because at the bottom, the key says to be voted on, so you don't want the star, do you? Okay, for the justice of the
No.
peace. Some more photos, and that's the appointed officials.
I like that. Looks good.
This I'm sure you've seen a few times. Alright, here's some older photos. That's what I put for a note. It was 1945, you guys were asking. And I believe this goes with it, right?
It does. Yep.
Okay, so that's a good picture. I don't know if that's a good name, Northeast Kingdom Airport. I think technically it was Newport or something then.
We may end up adjusting.
Adjusting that. These are some more old pictures here. This is your letter.
I never reread it.
Need me to slow down on it, or you?
Hang on, stop a minute. Okay,
So do you want to sign this?
Okay,
Or
we'll
just,
just leave
yeah,
this.
print that off. All of that. Did that come out right, Dave, for how it should look? Right, put it in there.
That looks good.
Yeah, we can. Maybe add a little title thought, but I'll get you. Yeah, okay. Okay.
I'm going fast. Tell me if you want me to slow down.
That's good. We've already gone through all that.
Yeah.
Budget stuff.
This is Dave's report. It's Deb's letter. Is that what goes first, Deb, right? Or- okay. 2 pages.
Should always. Don't you know Debbie always has a lot to say?
she's got a lot of good to say.
Yes.
This is a report. Elections page. This is one I got from Deb, and then this is a solar eclipse of the 105 planes. So
Oh, that's cool.
It'd be nice to have a picture like that of the town, like the village. Yeah,
We do have some actually.
Yeah.
this is me.
Especially flooding.
nice picture.
Like, sure.
Good job for putting your picture in there, Ed.
Yeah,
It killed me, but I knew I'd be in trouble like you if I had.
It's a coat tie.
Yeah.
We're gonna strap you in the chair, put duct tape around it.
Right?
I tried to get pictures of the road crew. This is what I got, so
Yeah.
I told them it'd be nice if we had a picture of them. But
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that next year.
They're behind the equipment.
Yeah,
Actually, it'd be nice to have all of our equipment in the picture with the road crew in front of the equipment,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the town of Coventry now being on the doors.
Yeah. Project for the summer.
I just gotta fix this one here. Forgot about that. To the 9th.
Roll it.
That's cool now.
No, that's usually not where it is.
Well, the 24 thing is concerning. Well,
For still being that much outstanding.
right.
For tax year 24.
Yeah, I mean, 23, it's long in the tooth, but you wouldn't hold a tax sale for $1,500. In fact, you can't these days. The rules have changed.
Right.
But 24K, well over a year old.
So we should be looking at some tax sales of some,
Well, maybe, but the rules have changed, so
right?
they are now very restrictive, but there's probably 1 or 2 big properties in there that you might want to consider. They would get hit. It's an equal opportunity thing, but there's now this floor on it. If you owe less than some amount, I think it's 1,000, but there's some number, then you can't take that off the tax.
You have to go through the court system.
You could do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it seemed a little high to me.
Yeah, it's become onerous.
Okay.
Melanie's letter.
Good, no?
Westview's got a couple pages, an introduction, and then about their personnel. Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, the school opened last night. I wonder if he had anybody showed up.
I went up and gave him a break for a little bit, and there was nobody there. So.
It's good to be open, but it's good that it's not needed.
Yeah.
This is the new building up there.
What is that, Casella?
The airport.
Oh, okay. That's finished?
Yep.
How much it cost? Square footage.
But I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it's for.
They've got a picture too. We've got to get everybody to get picture. The cemetery commission when they have a meeting just somewhere or something.
Means service. Would be a comparable.
Maybe,
It doesn't have overhead doors, but other than that.
right?
So what is our number of pages limit? Do we know? We're at 151. We talked about in Tuesday's meeting, the book.
It has it on the contract.
Mhm.
We about the same this year in pages.
Sounds like we may be a little bit few higher.
Yeah, I think it was like 130 or less last year. So.
Mhm.
There's some stuff I added that was different. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the font, 12? About 12 or 14?
Yeah, it's 12 throughout. This is the new one, Deb?
Yeah.
So where are you even seeing a page number?
Way to the right over here on the sidebar.
As he's going down,
We're at 70 of 151.
It'll have them in the. Right.
I think our max was 150,
Mhm.
so we're right in line.
Yeah, I have that blank page there too.
Mhm, the inside of the cover.
Yeah,
I didn't know if she needed it or not, so.
Mhm.
But the blank page could be a place for people to take notes.
usually we had the back page would be sort of like looking like a notepad, so if people wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
notes, whatever they could.
You know, if this is, I gotta caption this too, maybe it's part of the governor one,
Yeah.
senator one.
That was part of the
Great opening or whatever.
the grant
45.
opening, yeah.
B17.
This is, I fixed this. Carrie.
Oh, they guys sent you the new one and all the information's right, or you were just able to
I
fix
fixed
it?
just
Yeah,
to be
okay.
quicker, so.
Yep.
So this is what you've been doing for the last few
Yeah,
weeks, huh? Lot of work.
this one I got them to resend it with the amount.
That's good. So there's two new appropriations last year that weren't on the list last year, that weren't, two new ones this year.
Okay.
Yep, that they hadn't asked last year. And that one says, Dear Matt.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see it. Some of them are different.
Yep,
I'll have to make sure I can get it, I can change it if you want.
nah. That's what they sent.
Another one of that.
Is that you? It's there.
It was there last year. That can just.
Thank you.
I switched out the bridge picture there and just put it in down below. So
Perfect,
went with
yeah.
this one for the
Mhm.
added one in that they had sent me. Are we good with that order? The warning should
Yeah.
come first.
Yeah.
And I threw in the Australian ballot.
Perfect.
When are you stuffing envelopes?
I will let you know, it'll probably be in the next couple of weeks. Now, the only thing I can see we're missing is where are their informational meeting minutes?
Their minutes, did I get that from you? That wasn't, that wasn't with the warning, right? So,
No, I think, yeah, Matt had that on his computer, but he
Okay.
probably just did not know, so we'll coordinate that to add
Okay,
that
yeah.
into here.
I think I matched it up with last year, well, it would have been in last year's for
It should
sure.
have been much, because they'll go through and they'll say like who won for each of the positions, what the final vote was.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet, so that's why I didn't get note of it.
We'll get that for you.
Oh, and the grandson
Which one?
on the left, Avery.
Oh, nice. They gave me all these, that's just how I put them.
Yep, that's perfect.
This is the spice I put at the bottom of the.
Yep.
The margins finally came out good on this, thank you,
Yeah.
so they look really good, so.
No, absolutely.
That's the superintendent.
And done.
Thanks, we just gotta add those minutes.
Minutes, so.
It'll probably be 2 pages, I think.
So can we just, authorize Ed to do that? To do our work for us?
And also,
With changes,
Then
yeah.
he can do whatever, they can just.
it's a really good proofreading there, if they have time, they're gonna help.
Yeah.
So let's just do that then and. Motion.
Make a motion.
Provide our authority to, have the authority to, if it's the adjustments necessary. Print is going on Monday.
Correct.
Yep.
What were the adjustments that were?
I saw something with the school.
Adding a page, you had written something down that you were gonna do.
Yeah,
Nothing on
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
it. For us, it's just school stuff.
you're good with the layout, all that.
Looks great.
That was great, Ed.
I think. Just to say thank you to everybody and mostly you, Ed, and
Yeah,
I
awesome work.
think it looks as good as I've seen in the past and I love the dedication. I think everybody will think about that for years to come.
Yep.
We've been at it for a long time, so I think it was a good way to do it.
Yeah, Matt was a big help and these two were awesome too.
Yep.
David
Thanks
and I
everyone too.
did a
Yeah.
lot on the budget, he helped me a lot, Ted helped me with anything in the report, so thank you to both of them.
Yep.
Alright, so
Nice job.
do that, Gary.
Yes, Chair.
Yep.
I know, Scott, we're gonna talk offline after, just for my story, but I would like to have the final copy of the warning, what I'm doing at home with me today, so the work on this today. I would like to maybe have a PDF version, even if it's kind of the draft version of the county report.
I know Ed still has to make one copy to the warning. He can probably get that to you first thing Monday.
I need, yeah, I
You
need,
need it today?
I-
Okay,
because I'm gonna be working on this story today, because I need it by noon tomorrow. My
okay.
deadline noon tomorrow.
So what is the request? What do you want?
copy of the approved warrant that you guys signed?
Oh, okay.
And kind of like, even if it's draft,
Yep, I can do that, easy,
and I would like to have a copy, because I'm a visualized person.
yeah.
So I'd like to have a copy of the letter from the attorney for the town garage.
Yeah, I think.
I know you kind of read it,
I'll know.
but I was just,
2 points.
I like to see it in front of me. And I just want to talk to you again offline about the garage and.
Yeah, we can take care of both those things out.
All right,
So make a motion to approve the town report with authorization for some of the, I don't know how to say it, or like some of the noted, adjustments to be made, amendments, adjustments to be made as discussed or as needed.
Second,
All in favor?
all right, you have the warrants there and it's got the truck payment in it there from the last meeting. I believe it's a top one, isn't it? Dan?
Yep. And
I think you guys needed a discussion or you
Yeah,
wanted
with-
Why was
a
this coming back?
discussion.
Where to pay it from?
that's what it was, yes,
Yep.
Um,
109.
What are we talking about? Sorry.
Truck body.
Okay, so Dave's,
Recommendation on where to pay it from.
is that not the first one right there?
Yep,
Yeah.
And so that's just, I mean, we're gonna pay it, right? I mean,
Correct.
Yeah, the check is already made out.
right,
You have in the, roads capital equipment fund, you have $26,015.94.
how much?
26,000. And a few dollars.
Yep.
Okay? Just sitting there. So I recommend you use that, bring the balance of that fund, the capital equipment fund, to zero. And offset the 109,037 that otherwise comes out of the highway. So the road capital equipment fund was set up specifically to pay for this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
I'd recommend, but you guys have to decide whether you want to do that. The con is it takes it to zero, but the fact is the balance that's there is not enough to pay for anything in total, right? You can't buy any kind of
Yep.
capital equipment for road crew for 26,000. It's not going to, so.
So can we just, accept this warrant today, get the pay authorized, and then for the next meeting, you bring us. You did that for us the last time or two, you gave us a piece of paper.
Well, it's in my treasurer's report that you're gonna get the December version of that next meeting. So if you wanna see that first, that's fine.
No, I'm grasping at what you called it, but you gave us a document. For special reserve fund spending,
It's in my treasurer's report in the annual report for what's happened through December 31st.
so do you want us to just motion this? With that amount specific to come out of that special reserve fund? And that would satisfy,
That would satisfy.
okay, let's do it that way, what's the exact number again?
26,000.
Yep.
15.
Yep.
0.94.
194. Okay, and that's called exactly the
Roads Capital Equipment Fund.
roads capital equipment. Fund.
Yep.
Okay. So. So we would be authorizing the total expense, and this amount
Mhm,
be brought from
mhm.
that.
And am I saying where the rest of it's coming from?
No.
Okay, so make a motion to approve the warrant for Charlie Boys for the body of the truck to take $26,015.94 from the roads capital equipment fund towards this bill.
Second.
Yep, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's a great plan. Thank you very much, David.
All right, other business, I just had one, quick question.
So do we have more of those?
No, you guys did
Those were from
those, right?
Tuesdays and.
Oh, those
we
are
weren't
gone,
here.
okay.
So,
I discussed this with you at one point, Scott, and then the two of us, we had this discussion. I should have asked you before, but I was downstairs printing when you were talking budget stuff. When we discussed about any interest in the ton truck, we were talking about fiscal year starting in July till the end of that fiscal year, right? I just want to be
Okay.
clear on that for the ton truck discussion.
for a new one, you mean?
Yeah, we were, just for the budget, that's why I'm asking.
I don't
I
even
just
have
want
a
to make sure
number.
I was clear, so. That's all,
Yeah,
that it wasn't like this calendar year or anything like that, so.
So what's the question or what's the concern?
I discussed it with you and we said that actually, that we meant fiscal year. That you weren't gonna be looking into anything for a ton truck
Yeah, right.
from
no,
July 1st, and I just wanted to be clear with them, cause I don't know if I was clear on the language, so.
Yeah.
It would have been part of that budget.
Right, I know, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
so.
or we'd be,
Yeah,
I
I
think,
know I'm going backwards, I apologize,
Okay.
I just wanted to be clear so it didn't come up later,
well, I think that conversation led, this garage is driving a lot of these decisions, and we have to know that answer. The ton truck is only 4 or 5 years old, and so I know it's been causing us some trouble, and it probably be one of your next ones to go, but it's not gonna be this year.
It was, I think you and I discussed it, but in the last meeting with them, I said this year, that could be calendar year,
Okay.
right? So
we got you.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify for them,
Yep.
that's all.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
That's
Anything
all
else?
I have. Any other business from anyone?
No, we're back on regular meeting schedule now, right?
Yeah, it'll be the first Monday in February.
First one, okay. All right,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
all favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Yeah.
Happy Saturday.